All right, so today's lesson we are going to be talking about the difference between mobility and flexibility, and we're going to tie it together with how that's going to benefit us in our gymnastics class. So mobility is having strength and flexibility through a movement, where flexibility is a very passive thing, where we're actually having something hold our body in place. So again, the big difference between flexibility and mobility, and that's going to be the difference in our lesson today. So when we're talking about mobility, we are talking about how far we can actively move our body in a range of motion. Okay, so from the side, if I'm doing a knee lift, you can see I can lift it up to about chest height. Now if I take it with my hands and hold it there, I can get it even higher. So the second one is flexibility. So this is how flexible I am, but mobility is how high I can actually lift and hold it there with my own muscles. So mobility is active, flexibility is passive, okay? So another example of that would be if I'm a runner's lunge. So I'm gonna be down here in a plank position. Now, if I can get my foot next to my hand in one movement, that's mobility. So it's here and setting my foot down. Now, some people, when they do that movement, what happens is that they get it here and they have to lift it into place. So that would be lack of mobility. All right, the next part with that is if I do get in that runner's lunge and then I want to do a T-spine rotation, I want to be able to hold my chest completely open to the camera and look up at my hand. Now, a lot of us, when we get there and we try that T-spine rotation, we can't rotate that far with our back, so we just kind of throw our arm up. So if you notice, my chest is still facing my knee. Good mobility, limited mobility. So again, it's actively moving our own body. Now we're going to talk a little bit about flexibility, flexibility versus mobility. So again, flexibility is a passive movement where we have something like our hands or this band or the ground or even a chair, anything that's holding our muscles into place. Okay, so we're not actually using our muscles to do it, we're actually having them held for us. So I'm going to talk about hamstring flexibility first. So for hamstring flexibility, if I lie down, okay, and I'm lifting my leg up as high as possible, okay, that would be considered mobility because my muscles are doing the work to hold my leg here. For flexibility, if I hold the band here and then I'm pulling and holding here, I'm much able to go much farther with my leg. Now granted, this is really stretching that muscle. I can feel all the little muscle fibers firing right now, okay, but this is going to be working on my flexibility. So that can ultimately help mobility, but right now mobility is active. That's me trying to get my leg there versus being able to hold my leg here. Huge difference. So again, flexibility is a passive movement where we are using something to hold our body in place. And again, mobility is using that flexibility plus the strength of our own body.